Continue with the breaking news. The arrest tonight of a suspected killer, Nicholas Sheley, believed to have murdered 8 people in Illinois and Missouri. All the victims killed over the last several days, and the FBI says it appears they all died from blunt force trauma to the head. As we've been telling you, Sheley's a convicted felon, a long rap sheet. Now, over the last couple of days, the FBI asked the public for help. The tips poured in. A short time ago, I spoke to psychologist Howard Brodsky, who worked with police on the infamous BTK serial killer case. We're told that the injuries were horrific and that the level of trauma is going to make it actually hard to identify the victims. How do you explain that level of violence? Why would someone kill people so violently?
You know, you have to wonder if this really isn't expressing something purposefully, that this guy really wanted to say something, and that what he was saying is, I am really capable of very evil things.
What's the difference between a serial killer and a spree killer?
Well, as I understand it, you know, serial killer takes a long time between, checks out where he's going to attack, plays within his head for a long period of time. The spree killing, this is kill as many as you can in as short a time as possible. So there isn't that kind of deliberation, that kind of thoughtfulness in between.
I want to read you something that his wife told the Daily Gazette. She said, and I quote, "This is not Nick. Without drugs, without alcohol. Nick is kind-hearted, he's caring, he has respect for people." Does that make any sense to you? I mean, is she just trying to, you know, excuse the person she loves?
Well, we also understand that there's some, perhaps some marital issues that might explain this, this whole situation. You know, we'll take some time in order to look through this and see what kind of a role that they had in between them, if her notion of him being a good guy was something that was too heavy for him to carry.
What explains, though, a killing spree? I mean, does someone just snap?
I don't really believe in snapping. I think this is something that he gave himself permission to do. It's something that he wants to tell the world through his behavior, how desperate he feels. He is so desperate that he's doing desperate things. So his behavior really reflects an awful lot of what he's trying to tell the world. This is a guy who's taken everything that he knows about killings, about desperate acts, and packaged them all together in this very horrific display of behavior.
The victims are also varied. I mean, somewhere in their 20s, there was a 65-year-old, a child, a 93-year-old, men and women. What do you make of that?
Well, it sounds more like victims of opportunity rather than he was going after anybody specific, that he wanted to do some bad things, and these were people who happened to be in his path.
Dr. Howard Brodsky, appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Good to talk to you.
Up next, hospital horror caught on tape. A woman collapsing on the floor of the waiting room, left to die.